Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, for those that do not know me, my name is Ernesto Villaseñor. I am a 2010 Gates Millennium Scholarship recipient. I am a senior at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, majoring in sustainability studies pre-law with like a million and one different minors. And anyhow, I am making this video, and it has been a while since I made a how-to video or a kind of like a cheat sheet video with respect to the Gates Millennium Scholarship application for the 2013-2014 academic year. For those that are new to this group, I occasionally put a video on the group from time to time explaining the process behind the application itself, answering particular questions that are not necessarily saying redundant, but a lot of applicants ask over X amount of time and ask the same question over and over and over. So usually that's why I make those videos, and that's the reason why I'm making this video. So the questions that I'm going to focus on for this video today, it's going to be on, the first question is, how do you ask a teacher for multiple recommendations, whether it be the Gates, college, Questbridge, whatever? How do you add references onto the Gates Millennium Scholarship application itself? And can you write about more than one subject? So going on to the first question, how do you ask a teacher for multiple letters of recommendation? Okay, so and I will use myself as an example. I am a senior now, so I'm actually working on grad school applications. Working on the Fulbright Fellowship, working on other fellowships and some other research that I want to do. And yeah, because I do not want to go into the workforce. I really want to get my doctorate in public health, my doctorate in education, but that's a whole different thing. So what I do, and it's one of the good things that you should do, and this is something that you should retain on for the rest of your life or your undergraduate career or whatever. Whenever you want to get letters of recommendation, be polite. First of all, be polite. Get them from individuals that know you, that really, really know you. So don't just go to a random teacher that you only had for 1 year and you really didn't connect and be like, yo, let me get a letter of recommendation. It's not gonna work. They're not gonna give you a very good letter of recommendation. If anything, also make sure that the letters of recs that you get are from individuals that you have done good work with. So if you're getting a letter of rec from somebody from a class that you got a C in, they would not really write a lot of good things about you. So keep that in mind. And if you're gonna ask them, that individual, if they could do your Gates, your UC, Cal State application, whatever it may be, your Common App letter of recommendation, let them know. So that way they already have a heads up. Not only do you let them know which ones they're gonna fill, but also give them deadlines. A lot of them have deadlines a little bit further ahead than your application deadline, but you should set out a flat deadline where both yourself and the individual are done. So let's say for this Gates Millennium, the application is due around January 15th, if I'm correct. I completely forgot. But you should not wait until the 11th hour for that recommendation. So we are in September. My personal experience when I submitted my application in November, and I started working on it in August. But I mean, that's a whole different story. Some of you guys are barely working on the essays or whatever. Just really give yourself plenty of time to go over it should you be done early. And also, do not wait until the 11th hour to submit it. The server has crashed, and it will continue to crash if you wait until the very last minute. And there will not be exceptions in terms of submitting the application late because the server failed or whatever. So really do finish the application as soon, not saying as soon as possible, don't half-ass it and submit it, but really put your time and effort into it, but don't take your sweet time to do it. One of our 2010 Gates Scholar recipient from UCLA's added a senior brag sheet. If you go to the file section on the group itself and you click on it, it would say senior brag sheet 97-2003 doc. And that's a good sheet. If you do not have a resume, it's a good sheet to like fill out. That way you could give it to your recommender, your nominator, or anybody you're getting a letter of recommendations from, to let them know like the accolades and the awards that you acquired over like your high school years, and even up until even now in like college or whatever. But like it gives them like information that is readily available to them in case they do not really know a lot of the things that you have done, in case there are certain things that you've done that they otherwise would not be able to know. Like that brag sheet will give them a better, like, not saying perception in terms of who you are, but it will give them a better picture of like things they might have missed out on, in case you really haven't kept them updated with the things you've been doing over the years. So that's definitely one document that you should check out and download, and really fill it up and give it to your recommenders as soon as you ask them, and really give them time to work on the application. So now I'll move on to the next question. How do you add references? It's a very good question. In order for you to add references to the Gates itself, have them go to the website and have them register. So when they go to the like registration form or whatever, they have to register as recommenders or nominators. Please let them know what they are, because if they are your recommender and they register as a nominator, they would have to call headquarters and have that switched, or they would have to do another account. So if that happens, correct that as soon as possible and do not wait until the 11th hour. There has been some applicants who did not know about that and waited until the day the application was due, and they could not submit the application or could not get it corrected because of that little error. So really take care of that, and really make sure you keep track as to who's your recommender, who's your nominator, and make sure that both of the individuals are on the same page on that. So that's the way you do it. The next question is, can you write about more than one subject? And this question, I am assuming you guys, these are referring to essays 1 and 2. And the answer is yes. You could write about more than one subject, as long as you are able to connect both of the, well, not saying as long as you are able to, but I mean, this is a personal preference. When I talk about subjects, or when I talked about the subjects that I've excelled or where I've had difficulty, I connected the reasons as to why I excelled in one subject, or why I found it harder to excel found it harder to excel in more than one subject. So as long as you are able to connect both of them and not really have your essay jump from like, oh, I'm good at this, and then it's like, oh, I'm good at this. It seems like you're trying to talk about two subjects in two different occasions, and you're really not like interconnecting both of them. So it's like, if you could interconnect both of them in terms as to why you excelled or why you couldn't excel, or however many amount of subjects that may be, go ahead and do it. By all means, go ahead and do it. But at the same time, don't just talk about like, oh, I'm good in like every single subject, and oh, I'm bad in every single subject. I mean, there are certain subjects where you do excel, and I mean, not trying to say that autodidactism still does not exist. I am an autodidact myself, but there are some subjects where you will excel much more than others, and you could be good in all of them. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And you could find the document to the questions if you go to the file section again. You click on the Gates Millennium Scholarship essay questions. And yeah, also another thing, and this is very, 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 very important. Really look at the GMS, the FAQs. Like, really look at the FAQ section, because all of the questions that majority of you guys ask are right there. And I'm not saying that they're bad questions, but like sometimes and sometimes it's like when you guys ask the same question 3 or 4 times, it kind of like really defeats the purpose of like really trying to like maximize the productivity. I mean, just trying to say like, if you ask the same question, make sure you scroll through the page just in case you see or you notice that your question was already answered. Like it's just to like make sure like, just want to let you guys know, like, a lot of us that are helping you guys out, we are in school. We are like in full school mode, so our time is already very, very limited, and we really want to like maximize the limited amount of time so that all of you guys could benefit from it equally. If you go onto the file section as well, there's a document called GMS FAQ that was created by one of our 2011 or 2012 scholars. And a lot of the questions that you guys have asked are right there. Also, if you go to the GMSP website, there's also a FAQ section that answers a lot of the questions that you guys have asked. To be quite frank with you, a lot of the questions that you guys have asked, the answers that we've used, have come from the GMS FAQ section. So, with that in mind, for those that are new to the group, I will go ahead and copy and paste the URLs for the other videos that I have created, just in case you might have missed them. They're posted on the group. If you use the search engine on the group itself and you type my name, Ernesto Villaseñor Jr., you will see all the posts that I left. A lot of, they're very, as a matter of fact, you should go ahead and look at all the posts that I left. They're very informative, to say the least. And a lot of the questions that you guys are asking now, because you guys are new to the group, I have answered these questions months ago. Like, this group has been around since early spring, so there has been a lot of questions that I have addressed through that. With that being stated, I hope you guys have a wonderful senior year. It's only stressful if you let it to become stressful. Keep a calendar with your deadlines. Like, trust me, like, it really helps having your deadlines written out somewhere where you could see them. For those taking the SATs or the ACTs, take them as soon as possible. The closest date you can, the better, because it does take some time for College Board and whatever that other organization to process your scores and give them to you in a good time where you could submit them to your colleges or institutions of choice. And best of luck on the application. Yeah. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Take care.